Explain your profession.
I am a select account manager for a company called Crown Lift Trucks, which is the world's largest electric forklift manufacturer. And also we sell material handling goods here in the Atlanta area.
Okay, what educational background is needed to perform this profession?
I personally have a bachelor's degree, and that is what is commonly pursued for a job like mine, but it's not necessity. It just depends on the company and what the requirements are, but I would say a bachelor's degree at a minimum.
Do you speak Spanish in your job?
No.
Would you use it if you could speak it?
I would, because once in a while I will run into Spanish-speaking folks that would be nice to be able to speak fluently with them and ask them how they like their forklifts, or anything that could help me better position myself to sell equipment to them.
Would the use of Spanish in your profession benefit you or your business? How?
It would, for the same reason. Just when I walk into a warehouse and there's some operators that are Spanish speaking that are driving the forklifts, I'd like to be able to go up to them and ask them what they like and what they don't like about the forklifts to help position ourselves better for a future business. But instead, I pretty much have to just talk to either their boss or someone else that drives the forklift that speaks English.
Do you distribute information about your profession in Spanish?
We do have safety training videos in Spanish. We offer them in Spanish for a price to the customer.
If you spoke Spanish, does the profession exist in a Spanish-speaking country?
Sure, absolutely.
Would that be something you would ever consider? Why or why not?
Moving to a Spanish-speaking country to sell forklifts?
Yes.
I wouldn't consider it personally because I like it here, but somebody might like to do that.
If your profession allowed a stipend for bilingual employees, would you be willing to learn Spanish and use it in your profession?
Yes, but it would depend on the amount of additional income that it could bring in, but sure.
How much of a stipend would it have to be in order to pique your interest?
A lot. I don't know exactly how much, but it would be a lot.
Okay. Have you ever traveled outside the U.S.?
Yes.
Where?
My family, we've traveled, taken the family to Mexico on vacations, on a cruise, and a couple of different times, and then also we've gone to Canada, and that's about it.
Did you have any encounters in which it would be beneficial to speak another language?
Sure, when we were in Mexico, when we would get off the ship of our cruise, it would have been nice to be able to communicate in Spanish, sure.
If you have not traveled outside the U.S., have you ever been in a situation in which it would be beneficial to speak? Okay, in your opinion, what holds people back from learning another language?
Well, I think we just get so comfortable in our own language, and I think it's kind of perceived that it's just so hard to learn another language. But I really think people do it all the time, and as in the business world, it just becomes more and more important to be able to, we live in a global world with the internet, and it would just be real beneficial to have another language, especially like Spanish.
At what point do you feel that learning a new language is a priority?
I think that's a personal decision. For me, it's not a real priority, but for other jobs, I could see it being another priority. And Spanish would definitely be the language, if it ever were to become a priority, would be the one that I think would be the one to learn.
Did you take a foreign language in high school?
Yes.
Which language?
I took French back in the day, but I wish I would have taken Spanish.
What do you remember from the class?
Not a whole lot, just some basic vocabulary words and just small things like that.
If you were to go back and take the class now, do you think you would approach it differently? How?
Well, if I were to take it now, I would take Spanish because of just how common it is to run into Spanish-speaking people in our community.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.